Hello and welcome back to Kitchen Voyeur with Dr. Wagner, episode 2. This is the show where we not only tell you how to make food, but why. Today I'm here again with Nina Wagner, and she has a special egg dish that's close to your heart, I believe, that she wants to share with us. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is a oldie but a goodie. This is a recipe from my grandma. We have tomatoes, spinach, and egg.
So another breakfast, and this is a special also now, not just before. What's special about it these days?
Well, truthfully, this is the only way I can get my husband eat tomatoes.
The only way you can get your husband to eat tomatoes. Husbands should eat tomatoes, and here's why. We have lycopene in tomatoes, especially tomatoes that have been cooked. In this recipe, they will be cooked. Lycopene has been linked to all kinds of health benefits. It's a red phytonutrient, and in particular for men, it seems to be useful in preventing prostate cancer. So if you can get this down by hook or by crook for your husband, this may be the ticket for many people out there watching today. What kind of tomato are you using?
Today we're just using organic tomato. Obviously, this dish is much better if it's cooked in season heirloom tomatoes, but unfortunately, this isn't the season.
Yeah, so they're out of season, but this was picked ripe, I believe.
Yes.
Rather than ripened, picked green and then ripened on the shelf.
Correct.
Those I've heard from people who hate tomatoes taste like a dirty sock. So,
Yes.
You do have to have...
According to my husband.
According to your husband. So we do have to have good ingredients to start with. So let's talk about our other ingredients. We have some pastured eggs. For more on why we choose pastured eggs, see episode 1. We also have some pink Himalayan sea salt, and we have our greens. In particular, we have spinach. Spinach is wonderful for many reasons. I like to focus in on one item in spinach, betaine, B-E-T-A-I-N-E. Lots of health benefits here. We're talking about anti-cancer benefits. We're talking about heart health benefits, and we're talking about muscular support. It is true. A new study came out showing that betaine is actually helpful in maintaining lean mass. So Popeye was right, okay? And as far as the anti-cancer goes, the betaine seems to protect against some of the carcinogens that can be generated by overcooking meat. So it's good to eat your greens with your meat, especially spinach. And then last but not least would be heart health. Betaine is what's called a methyl donor. I don't want to get into that because it's huge and important. I just want to say that by donating methyl groups, this allows us to take homocysteine and convert it into methionine and get it out of the way, because high homocysteine levels are positively correlated as an independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease. So eat up your spinach. I think that covers our ingredients. Let's get cooking.
Let's do it.
So here we are at the stove making our tomato spinach scramble. We've got our butter going already, melting in the pan. And again, we're using stainless steel pans, which I would recommend, although you need to get used to how to use them. They conduct heat very well, which means you use much lower heats unless you really want to be burning your food all the time. The other types of pans I like are cast iron, and basically anything without a Teflon or a Teflon knockoff surface. Stay away from nonstick pans. If you want to know more about that, see episode 1. So here we go. We're putting our tomatoes in. We're going to let them soften and sweat and melt in the pan. And as they do that, the lycopene will be released. And again, lycopene is great for prostate health and many other health issues. If you'd like to know more about the red phytonutrient spectrum, check out my blog post entitled, I believe it's entitled The Power of Red, on BioFlourish.com. We talk a lot about that.
So in about 2-3 minutes, we have to flip them and do the same on the other side.
And we're going to be seasoning with a little bit of salt and pepper. And this salt is, again, Himalayan sea salt. Basically, any kind of sea salt, in my opinion, is better than table salt. Table salt, by the way, is prepared or processed at 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's enough to actually melt the crystal and reform it into something that essentially your ancient genome doesn't recognize as traditional salt. So who knows what that does to us. And This stuff just tastes better, for starters, and it doesn't have anti-caking agents or flow agents like ferrocyanide or aluminal silicate. I mean, do those sound healthy to you? They don't to me.
There we go. In about 2-3 minutes, we're gonna add spinach.
So the spinach is about to come online, and again, this is some really amazing stuff. We talked about betaine. Another name for it, for people who really like names, is trimethylglycine. Trimethyl, 3 methyl groups, glycine, and amino acid. And I told you that it was a methyl donor, and that's important for so many processes: mental function, heart health, and in this case, reducing homocysteine down to methionine. Here we go.
Once you add the spinach, the tomatoes are about to break. You know, they'll become pretty much like salsa.
So we're gonna make kind of a slurry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's exactly what we're making.
And you like to eat this with good old-fashioned Russian black bread, I hear.
I do.
Yeah. Good.
Yes, give it another, maybe salt and pepper.
Okay, another
just
round
a
of
little
salt and
bit.
pepper.
And then we have our eggs ready to go.
Beautiful.
So we
eggs.
have 2. You can do more.
We talked a lot about the health benefits of eggs in episode 1. I really encourage you to go back and watch that. Please don't be afraid of egg yolks unless you have diabetes. If your insulin is out of whack, all bets are off when it comes to cholesterol and saturated fat. If not, don't worry about it so much.
So eggs are in. Give it about two minutes now, and then we're not gonna overcook our eggs. It'll still be wet. So a lot of wetness is also from tomatoes and spinach.
Right. And plus, we're just not wanting to overcook our eggs because we want those proteins to be relatively in their natural conformation as much as possible.
That's correct. I think we're ready. Go.
That is gorgeous.
One more time, a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And I think we are ready.
And I think I'm going to just
Add one more tomato.
finish garnishing it
There
just
you
like
go.
that. So this is what it's going to look like. This is beautiful. You've got your green, you've got your yellow, you've got your red, you've got all your good stuff going on here. Let's see what it tastes like. I'm going to take it from the corner here so I don't burn my mouth like I did last time. And I want a little bit of tomato in there. I really like this flavor palette because what you've got going on is a little bit of acid and sweetness from your tomatoes. You've got some nice bitterness and earthiness from your spinach, and then you've got this background umami that's going on with the eggs and the salt. It's just perfect. I can see why this holds a special place in your heart and why it was such a routine back home. Well, that's all we have for today. I encourage you to just go home and make this. Super easy, super good. Until next time, you take care. Yours in health and resilience, Dr. Wagner.